We're going to turn now to the co-founder of the Indian Software Products Industry Roundtable, the iSPIRT Foundation, Sharad Sharma. Thanks for being with us. You've known the age of the floppy disk, and now you know the age of artificial intelligence. And what's been interesting in the last minutes listening to Kemi is we seem to be having this sort of schizophrenic kind of conversation. On the one hand, we're like, this is great, how fast can we go to make this stuff? And on the other hand, we're wondering, does humanity know what it's doing? Are we creating the tools of our own downfall? Does AI keep you up at night?
It does. And you know, the reason both of those aspects are important is because if you play AI right, it'll lift many Indians out of poverty. It will give them better health. It'll let our students study better and learn better. But on the other hand, if we don't do AI well, and we don't have all the safety provisions that we need, then we will have children who will be affected by AI pornography, AI gambling, AI gaming, and we'll have a lost generation. And the Indian lost generation is a big generation. We had 23 million babies born last year. We have the largest number of under 15-year-olds in the world. So we have to worry about both the opportunity and the threats at a scale that no other country has to worry about.
And the services sector powers the Indian economy right now.
I would say yes.
And so is this going to be a job destructor?
It could be. And on the other hand, it could enable people to fulfill their best potential. Right? And so you could have many outcomes in the future. And I think the only way we can play this is that luckily for us, India did have a revolution in digital world, as some of you may know. India has been very successful in the last 15 years in creating digital infrastructure that's brought everybody into the system. So India is a unique country because it's data rich, even before it's economically rich. And as you know, AI is powered by data, right? So our health data can inform how people can be healthier in the future. Our education data can inform how people can study and learn more effectively. Our financial data, because we've had a huge revolution in financial services in India, that can inform how small businesses can be given loans in a way that is not possible to give right now. So AI offers us, the next generation of AI will offer us many opportunities. Why? Because that would be built on real data. Currently, AI is built on public data. That's also real, but it's available to everybody. Now, tomorrow's
Some
AI...
say available thanks to stealing people's data.
Perhaps. And therefore, the next set of data is going to be about health records of hundreds of millions of people. Can you use it for AI in a privacy-preserving way? Can you use people's spending patterns, that data in a privacy-preserving way? Can you do that for education in a privacy-preserving way? And India has built we call it digital public infrastructure, that allows this to happen in a privacy-preserving way. And because of that, India is going to unlock continental data sets in a way that no other country is able to do or no other place is able to do right now. So the future of AI is actually going to depend on those kind of data sets and the kind of AI that emerges from it. And that's going to determine what world we'll see as AI in the future.
How do you prevent it from becoming the dream of any police state, you know, of like a dystopian movie like Minority Report?
In fact, that is a very important issue. So just the way we talk about security, the most important word in the future is going to be privacy. And most people don't appreciate that the first country to make privacy a fundamental right was in India. Our Supreme Court gave a 9-0 judgment, which cannot be overturned easily in the future, saying privacy is a fundamental right. We have the biggest system for private data sharing. So in Europe, you have this idea that personal data, private data, can only be shared with consent. I don't know, many people may not know that Indian's consent system is an electronic system. It's open, it's revocable, it's granular, it's auditable, it's notified, and it's secure. Organs, we call it. It runs at 120 million consents a year today. It'll end this year with 600 million consents this year. So therefore, the scale at which we are able to build privacy into the techno-legal system, what is India's specialization is that we use technology and policy, public technology, public policy coming together to protect Indian citizens from overreach by companies or overreach by the state.
Yeah, because we saw with DeepSeek, this large language model put out on the cheap by the Chinese, that there are, as we heard Peter O'Brien say, there are reasons to hope, but also reasons to worry when you type in things like Tiananmen Square. Nothing comes out. How do you make it so that if you type in IOTA, for instance, which is something contested in India over what happened there, that your large language model isn't going to have a bias?
Look, even in DeepSeek, if you install it on your own computer, you can get whatever information that you want. Because all the controls are in the layers above, which can be stripped away. Remember, all these AI models are eminently shareable. You know, one of the misconceptions that we had with AI is that we could put a regime that would prevent proliferation of AI models. That's not true, because AI model, after it's been trained, in the end is set of model weights. And those model weights can be put on a USB and shared with everybody. That's what you can do with DeepSeek as well. So when you install DeepSeek, don't use it as a service, but install it on your own computer and run it. Then it will give you the stuff that it has been truly trained on without the censorship that has been added on later.
So
and people are able to
Sharad Sharma, we heard our correspondent there allude to it. You have the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi coming to Paris. Yeah. There's this nail-biting over what will be in the final joint declaration when it comes to AI safety. Then Narendra Modi goes on to Washington. And we know that these days Donald Trump's likes to rip up international treaties. At the end of the day, is it the global regulation that wins, or is it the move fast and break things crowd that win the argument?
I think there are two competing views on AI. One is that will it be a source of state power, right? The Chinese and the Americans would like it to be a part of state power. And if indeed that is the winning paradigm, then India, and I would say even France, would want to have strategic autonomy in AI, because we would not like to be client states of either side, right? The second view is that no, AI will proliferate. It will be hundreds and thousands of fireflies lighting up the sky instead
That's
of
what they promised with the internet. It didn't happen that way. Instead, we had this concentration of power that we have in Silicon Valley.
Therefore, if you hear the India Stack story or the DPI story, that is the story of India. India has taken what was internet. Internet was flow of data packets, flow of messages, email messages, TCP, IP, if you know protocols, SMTP, and the last one is the flow of web content. India made flow of people, money, and information as part of public infrastructure, digital public infrastructure.
But companies like Microsoft and Alphabet, the parent company of Google, run our world.
No, in India, our payment system, which is a digital public infrastructure, Google is a big player, but it runs it on Indian terms. See, this is what I think is the big learning for Europe, that if you really want to shape market behavior, you cannot in the digital world shape it with one hand. Think of it as you are shaping clay on a potter's wheel. Can you do it with one hand? You can't. You need two hands. The two hands are public policy and public technology. Now, Europe used to be the epicenter of public technology. That has dissipated. US used to have lots of public technology. I would submit to you that the largest pool of public technologists today are sitting in Bangalore, the city I am from. And so therefore, today, if you really want to get good outcomes, you need two hands, public technology and public policy. That is what will shape the digital and the AI future of the world. And that is called techno-legal regulation. That is the contribution of India to the discourse about what the future of digital and future of AI will be in the coming years.
And if J.D. Vance, who's representing the United States, doesn't want to sign on, you're saying the Indians and the French and whoever else will do it.
So India's digital revolution has managed to to prevent Alibaba from running our systems and has prevented the big tech in the US from running our systems. And we have done it in a way, for example, where some of our systems like MOSIP are in 26 countries. 943 million citizens are signed up to use it. Why? Because it's not weaponizable. It is privacy is built in. It has techno-legal regulation. So there is a new philosophy that is emerging. This is, why am I here in France? Because originally this philosophy was the French philosophy. It used to be called digital commons and data commons. However, that philosophy was overturned by the wave from Silicon Valley. In India, we learned from that. We figured out how to keep it alive and run it at scale, and we are doing it. And therefore, that has become the last bastion where you can see this working, where the values of internet are still operative and will probably become stronger as we go forward.
Stronger as we go forward. Sharad Sharma, I want to thank you so much for being with us here on France 24. Thanks again, Kemi Knight, with that full coverage, which again continues through to next Tuesday with that AI summit coming up. Stay with us, top of the hour, more news, and then the France 24 debate. And how does Ukraine these days handle Donald Trump? That's the question we've been posing to you on the hashtag F24Debate.